Hey, I need to get a delivery. North Caracol.
Hi, Andy.
Hi.
Sorry, I gotta get my questions because I don't remember anything. Okay. Do you normally eat with your roommate?
Most nights, yes. We
I'm gonna
usually.
put my hair down.
You're
Sorry,
fine.
I forgot how to ask the question again. Someone should have reminded me.
I thought it looked pretty.
Oh,
It's too late now.
yeah, right. Do you normally eat with your roommate?
Yes. Primarily, I eat over there when I do homework, and he'll eat over here and do whatever he's doing.
Is it like a common, like, almost, I know you're friends, but like, do you see yourselves as almost family or really close buddies?
I'd say so. We see each other as roommates, and
Yeah.
it's like someone you live with, which is, I think it's a different dynamic than just a friend, because we usually share a lot of community because we're eating all the time together, and so I definitely think it's more intimate than just eating with a friend.
Is it an important part of your week or your day, you guys eating together?
I don't think so. I think it's just more of something that is just a result of us living together. It's just something that kind of has happened, and we've just gotten a tradition built around it, in a sense.
There's this image of this 1950s-esque happy family enjoying dinner every day. Is that something normally that you see with your own family or with your roommate?
I personally, my family was never much more of the typical the nuclear family. It was my mom because she was a single mother, and we had me and my little brother, and so usually it was just the three of us. But we every single night growing up, we ate dinner that she cooked at the dinner table, every single night. So it wasn't the nuclear family in the sense, but it was still preserving what that was doing. So that was really important. And my roommate is the same thing. Both of his parents are still married, and they have 3 kids together. And they were the same way. It was food that their mom cooked, and the 5 of them sat down every single night and ate dinner together, as far as I could tell. But as you get older, when I turned 16 and I had a car and I could drive and I could be more free. And the same thing with him. You kind of split off more as you grow older.
Do you think America is moving away from this image of a nuclear family having dinner?
I think America is learning that the nuclear family isn't necessarily the perfect model for a family. I think that there are too many people in the country who live in their own families, and not necessarily of family members, but they live with groups of people or they interact with groups of people, and that is their family. And so I don't think that the nuclear family is still around, but I definitely think that families that we have chosen ourselves, and I think that bond is still as strong as the nuclear family's bond was, let's say in the 1950s.
If there were one thing that the viewer needs to take from your experience, what do you think it should be?
I think the most important thing about when people sit down and eat together is that a there should be a fun spirit to it. I don't necessarily think that dinner is something that you have to eat with people, but I think when you do eat dinner with people, it shouldn't be let's just sit in silence, get our food eaten and stuff. I think when you share a meal with somebody, it's personal, and you're inviting someone else into a part of your life where not everyone feels comfortable doing so. And so I think that when people eat together, it should be people laughing and having conversation, and it should be fun in a sense.
Obviously, this isn't what your mom makes. What is dinner normally like for you here when it comes to food, and then how does it differ from your home?
So being in college and being on a personal money budget, it makes it more difficult to buy fresh ingredients and to cook it, especially when I don't have the money to do that, and I don't really have the resources to do that in my dorm room. And so most of what I eat is either takeout food or it's from university cafeterias. And my mom cooked comfort food because what she knew how to cook. It was mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, fried chicken, greens cooked to death with a ham hock and stuff like that. And that stuff's not good for you, but I definitely think there's something to be said in eating natural food, eating fresh food and stuff like that. I think if you're gonna eat food that's bad for you, at least eat stuff that's you bought at a store and took some time.
I know when I was in, or I'm still in college, but when I lived in an apartment, I was super lucky because I had a kitchen. So, I could stock up on raw ingredients and then I could have meals for a couple weeks. And yeah, no, money definitely is something that affects not just college students, but everybody on what their dinner time experience is going to be like. But yeah, eat your dinner because it's going to get cold.
Oh, I would eat this. I don't care. This could be ice cold and I'd still eat all of it. I'm really excited about this too.
All right, I'm ending it there.
Hey, Kaylin, will you hand me a napkin? I didn't realize how much mustard was on